the next thing I wanted to ask was, and I think you've already kind of said a little bit about this, is you're a believer of infinitism, is that infinitism, yeah? And your mentor is Maitreya. Tell us a little bit about the influence of Maitreya in your life. I've looked at a few videos and I haven't looked at all of them. So, I was intrigued by one or two of them and his messages. He's talking to these people that are asking him different questions. And it was very aspiring in a different way. You'd expect it to be like, you've got it in your mind because he looks so much like Satya Sai Baba. I was expecting a very religious kind of a chat with him, but it was more kind of almost like an industrialist point of view of spiritualism. And he was kind of saying that we shouldn't be tied down by, sort of our thoughts around, our religious things that we're taught, and that we should let go of this karmic business, of this karmic cycle. If I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, and that you're frightened of it, but let go of it and fulfill your destiny and move beyond that, and then you will become a better person. So I don't know if I've misunderstood it, but please tell us from your point of view what his philosophy is and what he means to you.
Sure. So Maitreya is his name, and he's founded this path called infinitism. I was a unique child in the sense that, like I said, that I was always a seeker. So, say when I was 16 and I had my heart broken for the first time, instead of crying and gossiping about it with my fellow girls, I bought the book Conversation with God and I read it, sitting on a terrace, and it really relieved me, So I always feel that all the answers to any trouble that we're going through in the world outside, it could be health, relationship, our own peace of mind. I think none of it is something that someone really outside or something changing outside can solve it. I think it's in your within that you have to resolve a lot of things. So I was always a seeker and I was always looking, and as life would have it, and when I was about 21, my path crossed his, and it was at such a fortunate time because it was around the time that mom was diagnosed for the first time. So right. It gave me immense hope and immense strength to go through that period at such a young age because he was there. What appealed a lot to me, it was an emotional connect. It was a click. So I think sometimes you meet someone or you just, see and you feel that, something is not as always. It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that the moment I looked in his eyes, I felt that here is not someone who's like everyone. There is something very extraordinary about him. So that click happened immediately. But like faith or surrender or insights or intellectual, quenching of knowledge, all of that I think has been a process of so many years. And what I love the most, Rajal, about his spirituality is that he is married. Okay, so when he talks about marriage, I don't feel, what will you understand? I know he goes through the same things I do with marriage.
Yes.
He has 3 children. So when I hear about, him talking parenting, I kind of understand, how I would be as a mother. He runs a business. Infinitism is not an NGO. It's not trust run. He does it for profit. So when he does those things, I feel that, okay, when he talks to me about business, it makes sense. At the same time, he also talks about spirituality and God and silence and meditation. And when I hear him, I know it's not coming from a space of theory, but a space of extreme experience, and that makes all the difference to my life. So what I've realized is that the reason he's clicked so deeply for me is that none of his wisdom is esoteric. It's practical, it's simple, it's fun, it's implementable. And that's what makes it so appealing for me, because he doesn't stand on one leg for 10 hours and this wisdom will come. No, he says you go, move your ass and work and that's how money has become, you know. So it's so simple. Like, he won't say like, oh, you just say 100 times om, and your relation will become right. He says, you get up and you work on your relationship, and that's how your relationship will become all right. And that appeals a lot to me. Another thing that really drew me to him is that he talks about tact, okay, this and that, TAT.
Right.
Now, you know, conventionally or earlier, it was believed that if you go on the spiritual quest, you need to leave relationships, you need to leave desires, you need to leave the monetary world, you know. And I think that kind of made a lot of us not go that path, because we said, no, I have a family, I have, you know, desires. I want my Mercedes, I want this, I want that, and I also want God, right? So what he's done is he's given the world a new philosophy, a new way of living life, which is this and that, which basically says that not only will you have spiritual abundance, but you must have material abundance, you must have a beautiful family life, it's a holistic approach, you know, that he's giving. And he's living it. So that makes everything so much more exciting for me. So in fact, his definition of success is healthy, wealthy, blissful, loving, and spiritually aligned.
Right.
You know, to me that felt so complete, because I feel like if I have all the money of the world, but I'm not healthy, that money is of no use.
It's no good to you.
Healthy, you know, wealthy, because everything said and done, we all want to have success, we all want to be, you know, abundant in every sphere, and why can we not be? So wealthy, happy. I mean, he just says that unless you are complete unto yourself and you experience bliss in your being, it's of no value, right? Loving. If you don't have beautiful relationships at home, your mind is always going to be a clutter, a mess, you know. And spiritual alignment, which is that your relationship with God, right? So I think this whole holistic approach that he gave made so much sense to me, because I think I'm very intellectual, and I'm also very emotional. And I needed something that would kind of, you know, satisfy both. Because if you just tell me, or sit and, you know, do this, I'll be like, that doesn't make sense to my intelligence. And if you just tell me like concept after concept and don't give me an experience, like if you talk to me about love, but I don't feel love, that's again useless. So he's managed to do both of these for me, and that's what I think makes him so appealing to me. So
I think so, because I think, like I say, I listened to I can't remember if it was like two of his talks, but one of them was almost like an hour long, but it captivated me long enough to listen to him for those reasons. It was very contemporary. It was about real life experiences, and it was about giving real life solutions as well. These people were asking him, and he was kind of relating the solutions to him, and it kept me, and he made me laugh as well, actually, which I thought, this is something you don't see, you know.
He always says, he's like, why would I talk to you about happiness? I would make you feel happy. So he runs this 8-day spiritual retreat where we're cut off from the world, and there's no mobiles, no mirror. I mean, Rajal, we go through happiness beyond belief. We feel love which we've never experienced in our life. You know? We get insights for our business which you can only expect in like an IIM or a Harvard program. So, and we also experience silence, you know, meditation. So it's so holistic that I feel my life has been, like you said right in the beginning, that how is someone as young as you doing so much, you know? The only reason I am is because it's so holistic. He's not allowing me to go only one path. It's like, take this also, work on this one. And
taking care of the whole human being rather than just the spiritual side of the human being. But he was actually, I must admit, you know, I think I might really revisit some of his videos again for that reason, because it did actually have something to say to me. So